Welcome everyone to the TalkSense live stream. The first time we're doing this. I'm Prem.
I'm Gauri.
So we are going to have a marathon basically today where we are able to showcase different kind of projects, not only regionally here out of Dubai or the UAE, but actually worldwide. Yeah. So it's going to be an exciting journey.
Yeah, it's an interesting time within the industry. We're having multiple projects coming along. The regulatory landscape is changing. For one, we as an investment company have embarked on utilizing this technology to enable global access, and there are a multitude of companies here who are doing innovative things, and we believe this whole process where this technology comes in to disintermediate capital raising, to disintermediate various services and reduce costs and enable startups to enter in a more innovative way in terms of raising capital just to begin with, or even payments, remittances and all that. So it's a very interesting phase in this industry, and we're very glad that we are able to bring in some of the most prominent and industry stalwarts here in Dubai live to you.
Absolutely. I mean, this week is also phenomenal. We just had the World STO Summit happening here in Dubai in the Dusit Thani Hotel. Right now, basically, today and tomorrow, Trustcon is having its World Blockchain Summit in Emirates Towers just behind us. So that's going to be awesome as well. A big lineup of speakers have specially flown into Dubai to look at these different projects going forward. So I think this ecosystem, we together have to do something. So I really believe in community building, and that's the reason why we, part of Grip Investments, wanted to do a live stream to get the community together, to get people together, and more importantly, to have fun as well together.
Yeah, absolutely. A big shout out to Grip Investments for making this possible. We are live from Grip HQ, and feel free to send in your comments, and we will make sure that your comments get answered by the panelists. Thank you, and let's kick off.
Absolutely. So our first panel is going to be awesome. We've got talking about cryptocurrencies trading going forward. We've got Loredana coming in. Loredana, maybe you can have a seat with us up here, and let us introduce you.
Hello guys.
Hi.
Okay, my name is Loredana. I'm the head of business development for DARICO Limited, and I've been working a little bit in the space, the blockchain, cryptocurrencies, and all this other cool stuff. So today we'll be talking about how is it to trade in the cryptocurrencies era. And let's hope it's interesting and everyone from the audience gets something out of it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean, if you look in the crypto space in general, there are a big group who are traders basically, and who make their living trading. Might it be Forex in previous years, but now looking very actively what's going on in the crypto space as volumes and transactions are happening more and more on a daily basis. So Loredana, I'm going to leave the floor for you and your panelists to come in.
At DARICO.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Please, So I'll briefly introduce our panelists. Shihab is recently joined the team, head of sales at DARICO. He comes from a vast background in Forex and working for some of the major brokers in the industry. And then we have Liwa Chahayeb. He's our head of operations at DARICO Limited. Investment, banking, trading, I don't know where to put you actually. So guys, welcome. We're going to give the audience some interesting topics, and we'll just kick it off from there. Just a brief disclaimer for whomever is listening to us. Whatever we say here is our opinion, and don't take anything for granted. Do your own due diligence. We don't give investment advice. So we'll just kick it off from there. So guys, with everything that's happening in the financial markets right now, in between Brexit and in between Trump and the trade war, I want to know from you, Shihab, first, how do you think cryptocurrencies will disrupt the way we see the financial markets nowadays?
Thank you for the question. I think it's a very good question, and it's a very important question because lots of financial institutions in the inception of cryptocurrencies were very afraid of cryptocurrencies. They thought cryptocurrencies was about to challenge them, challenge their system. And that was the initial, let's say, scare. Now, 2 years or 3 years later, after the rally of Bitcoin and the rally of cryptocurrencies, we're actually seeing more institutions coming and accepting cryptocurrencies as an asset class. Obviously, it was recently listed in Chicago Mercantile Exchange as an actual asset class. So that gave cryptocurrencies let's say the acceptance for being an actual asset class. So this helped us at DARICO to focus our projects on cryptocurrencies, to be the merger between the conventional forex market and the cryptocurrencies market, and to merge these two communities, because we believe in the long term this is where the future is, where you get the traditional FX trader depositing in Bitcoin, for example. If they want to have a Bitcoin base currency, we offer that at DARICO, and we see that's the future. So in my opinion, answering your question, I don't think it's a disruption. I think it's actually an added value to the financial markets, and it will enlarge the financial markets. I mean, obviously we know now the cryptocurrency crowd is a very, very loyal crowd, to the fact that it's, decentralized and obviously goes against lots of different values of the conventional market. So you always have that loyal crowd to cryptos that you cannot take away from cryptos. So we have to respect that in the financial markets, and we have to provide for that crowd what they want. At the same time, you have the non-experienced trader who has no idea what cryptos are, who is afraid of jumping into that space, and we need to provide that person a nice product that he likes or he understands or she understands.
The right tools to access this market.
Exactly.
That's a great vision. Do you want anything to add?
Actually, it's spot on. I think the cryptocurrency is here to stay, and we're seeing some different use cases every single day. And I think the Forex and the trading is one of the many use cases for cryptocurrency. It just takes steps. It takes, like you said, some knowledge. You need to inform people, you need to teach them, and you need to educate them in order to use these products. So I think we're going to see so many new things, and hopefully the idea of having instant deposits, instant withdrawals, instant everything on any platform that you trade in, this is where we're going, because people like to save time, and I think time became an aspect that people want to save as much as possible on.
That's actually accurate. It was included in my next question.
Yeah.
That's a very good vision of where crypto will stand in the future of the financial markets. But let's take a closer look of what it has been done already in the space.
Yes.
From one side, we have major brokers trying to access the crypto markets. They offer CFDs. For the audience that don't know what CFDs are, they're contract for difference. So they're a form of derivative. You don't trade the asset itself, but you speculate on the rising and falling prices of such assets, right? And from the other side, we have some very big names in the crypto industry trying to access the conventional finance and offering such as Bitcoin futures, for example. So what's the next step to be? Where do you see this going?
Yeah, no, I think if you don't mind taking this question. So basically, like you mentioned, I think so many exchanges are taking the step towards CFDs and offering contract for differences, and this gives an opportunity to not only purchase Bitcoin, which was the norm, so people would take it as an investment where they just purchase Bitcoin, purchase Ethereum, or whatever other cryptocurrencies there is in the market, and they just hold. And then the term of hodl, which means hold for your dear life, is just like you hodl, you just hold your cryptos and you sit on an investment. And then later on, when the CFDs got introduced, it became more of a speculation where people can go long if they expect the price to go up, and then they can go short if they expect that the price can go down. So I think this is all steps towards taking the cryptocurrency to the mainstream, we shall say, and then just like the steps like stock market, forex, commodities, and other asset classes followed. It's the same what's being applied to the blockchain industry currently. So I think all of these are steps towards main adoption, and like I mentioned before, cryptocurrency will be a force to be reckoned with, but not only the cryptocurrency as a cryptocurrency, but the blockchain technology underlying it, which is a different and much in-depth topic to speak about, basically.
True, very true. Totally agree. Let's stay at the numbers.
Yes.
Bank for International Settlements just announced recently their triennial report.
Mm-hmm.
We noticed that the Forex market has gone on its peak.
Yes.
It's 6.6 trillion, if I'm not mistaken,
volume,
daily
volume.
And then we have the derivatives market
Mm-hmm.
going towards the 16 billion of daily volume, if I'm not mistaken. And then, as of today, I hope I'm not mistaken, on CoinMarketCap,
Yes.
we have cryptos with a 24-hour volume of 60 billion.
Roughly 60 billion, yes.
We cannot say if it's roughly or not, because unfortunately
Yes.
on this industry, many exchanges tend to manipulate the data and you don't know what is true and not. It's still an immature industry, let's say, but very interesting indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, having said all these big numbers, we have also to note that the traders' mindset did not change.
Mm-hmm.
What is the traders driven from? Mainly from profit, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're, let's say, professional speculators
Mm-hmm.
that they're driven by profit. So my question is, right now, crypto is mainly seen as a speculative instrument. What can we do more in order to be seen as a true asset class where it belongs?
Mm-hmm. I'll answer that. So basically, put it this way: any trader in the world looks for profit. Like, the incentive for trading is to make money. That's the main incentive for any trader. Now, being a speculative trader, I think all traders are speculative. Like, they have this speculative nature to all of them, and they tend to trade. Now, if the asset class has low volatility, from a trader point of view, they will not trade it, because the less the volatility, the less profit, the less opportunities, let's say.
Sure.
So in this way, then yes. Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency market offers probably the highest volatility we've ever seen. Like, let's take, for example, a few weeks ago, maybe a month or two ago, actually, where Bitcoin hit $14,000 from a low of 3,000. So that's like already probably 3 or 4 times. And then now we see, like, I wouldn't call it a correction. It's more into a bear market, but actually in terms of crypto, it is a correction of 42%. So in any other market, a dip of 20% is already considered a bear market. Imagine for cryptocurrency, we're already down 42% from the peak, from 14,000, not even the major peak, and still there is bulls, and still there is now emerging bears, let's say. So I think like, cryptocurrency is a trading instrument that all traders will look at. And with the introduction of CFDs, with the Chicago Mercantile Exchange on board, I think a lot more. We're going to see so many opportunities that will present themselves later in the future.
Great. Anything to add, Shihab?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think also in the future we'll see the youth moving towards the cryptocurrency market. I think that's a main...
I'll just stop you for a second. If someone can put, please, the slide.
Yeah.
That was included on my next question, actually. This is a very interesting slide from Broker Notes, analyzing the average UK trader and the average US trader. I actually had to Google the Vauchal Corsa. I didn't know what that was. But either way, I want to focus on 3, not on the nationality, but more on the interests, on trading habits of the people, the youth, right?
Yes.
We see 27-year-olds trading cryptocurrencies, being interested in digital currencies and technology. And from the other side, we see the Forex and stocks, the old-fashioned traders, let's say. So my question would be, just given this as an example, where do you see the next generation of traders? Let's just leave aside the stereotype of the geek traders sitting in the basement looking at charts all night. And let's just look at it from another perspective. Where will this next generation of traders be as a persona, if we could define it?
So obviously it's difficult to define one character, but obviously the market is always there to provide a product for everybody. We're seeing now a lot of youth are moving into cryptocurrencies. I mean, if you type cryptos in YouTube, for example, you'll see all these 14-year-olds with their channels and speaking
True.
about different cryptos and comparing altcoins. So that tells you that this is the crowd. We also saw lots of people who benefited strongly in the rally in late 2017, who were young people.
Young millionaires.
Exactly, below 20 millionaires.
Yeah.
So those millionaires came from that crypto market, and they will always be loyal to that crypto market. Additionally, obviously, the forex market has its crowd. You've just mentioned that it reached $6 trillion a day of daily volume. So that tells you that market is also growing, and it's reaching lots of parts of the world, and obviously reaching different crowds in the world. So you have a big market for different types of investors and traders. So I think the future trader will be somebody who's more in line with technologies, someone who's in line with the latest technology, someone who's aware of what's happening in terms of gadgets, in terms of the digital age. And that is a different trader to, let's say, the stock market trader of 20 years ago, 10 years ago, where everything was done on the phone, everything was face to face. So
Wall Street style.
Wall Street style, exactly.
Yeah.
So now we're seeing a different type of trader, the online trader, someone who's much younger in age than the previous trader, who was, let's say, above 30 businessman.
Makes sense, makes total sense. And I want to stop just for 1 second in a topic that I hold very dear to me. If we can just put the other slide.
Yeah, maybe I can change it.
Yeah.
From here. Yeah.
Forget diamonds. Crypto is a girl's best friend. We have seen lately women, they, from this report of Broker Notes, they are 19% of the trading, the percentage of
Crowd.
traders, the trading crowds, yes. And we see that from 2017 in 2018, women have contributed in increasing that cryptocurrencies trading, right? And there's also a book in Kindle, I highly suggest it. It's called Warren Buffett Invests Like a Girl and Why You Should Too. It gives the impression that women are also good traders, right? Not impression, but they are good investors. And they have higher income, but investing less, right?
Yeah.
And I really hope that we could see more and more women trading online.
Sure,
Right?
of course. Yeah, the market is open for everyone. I mean, we've seen such and actually it's not surprising. Like you see, women are entering this field because there's opportunities for them, and at the end of the day, the market is global. Everyone can enter. Actually, in terms staying on the topic of cryptocurrency, if you don't mind me adding. We've seen so much movement in terms of cryptocurrency and the brokers that you were mentioning. I've heard from someone that now they're calling it like broker 2.0, for example, which is like a broker that's basically on cryptocurrency. Like in our platform, for example, at DARICO, it's the same thing. It's purely cryptocurrency based, and people come and trade, and they like it. Like they like the sense of instant withdrawals and deposits and the quick thing that we were mentioning. So I'm not surprised. I think maybe we actually have many females on our platform.
That's great. That's great to hear.
Yeah.
That's really great to hear. And where does DARICO fit in helping the emerging markets? Because we know that in emerging markets we have this financial inclusion issue, we have these problems that many countries are restricted, and we have this forex brokers who cannot accept certain countries. And do you think crypto has somehow there's an opportunity to solve this kind of issue?
See, basically the definition of crypto and why crypto got to existence is the whole idea of decentralization. So the whole idea is that there should not be boundaries. It shouldn't be like a certain person or a race or a color or whatever you want to name it. This shouldn't be a barrier. And we are now in 2019, stepping to 2020. So these things are like they don't make sense. Anyone from any country, being in Africa or being in a third world country, being in a first world country, it doesn't matter. They should be have the opportunity to trade. So I think the cryptocurrency is offering this solution. Brokers are, of course, utilizing this solution. And in terms of regulation and jurisdictions, etc., there should be some type of rules, but nothing that stops someone from executing their hobbies, their lifestyle. Some people actually live on trading.
True.
And you shouldn't stop them because of the country that they were born in. So it should be available for everyone. There should be some kind of rules that maintain some kind of, let's say, order. But it shouldn't be limited to any country or borders across the world.
If we could just make a summary of that, we could say that
Yes.
cryptocurrency is democratizing retail trading and is heading more towards diversity, right?
Yes, for sure.
Great, and I don't want to close the panel discussion without asking one very important question. And this is purely their opinion again.
Sure.
Where do you think Bitcoin is going in 2019?
To the moon.
Famous question. The moon and the Lambo and everything.
You go ahead first.
We actually have conflicting opinions on this.
Okay,
even though
who's
we
the
are-
bullish one?
we are
Who's the
working in
bearish and
same
who's the
co-
bullish?
in the same office. No, Leo is more logical.
Okay.
I'm more emotional. But I mean, I'll let you start.
Sure, it's fine. So basically, my point of view is that you have to look at the market in the terms of size. So the whole cryptocurrency market is like very small compared to the forex and the traditional market. And then in terms of Bitcoin, and this is why we keep talking about Bitcoin, is Bitcoin itself is 70% of the whole market. And then Ethereum is the next, like maybe 20%. So Bitcoin as a cryptocurrency is significant. Now, slight movements there, like an injection of probably a few billions, which might not even move the forex market, will move Bitcoin in a huge way. So having a logical sense, and like I cannot say bull or bear, it's very difficult to say. Like I mentioned, from 14,000, it dipped all the way to 8,000 within a few months. That's 42% decrease. Who would have expected that? No one. Technically, in terms of technical analysis, you can see some patterns, but most of the time they're broken. From fundamental way, it's the same thing. Now, if I take you back a little bit to the days of like 2017 and the days where it was rallying a lot, the only reason why it was rallying is the FOMO, is the idea of fear of missing out, where every single day you'll see on the headline, Bitcoin has a new high. A new high. So everyone is like, I'm not going to miss this new high, I'm going to go and invest. It kept going up and it touched 20,000. So in terms of being a bull or bear, I don't think I can take a stance on that. But in the short term, I'd say that it's looking more to the downside than the upside in the short term. But in the longer term, logically, from the supply point of view, and for all the audience that knows how Bitcoin works, logically and in terms of economy, how like the demand and supply works, it's inevitably going to go up some way or the other. Again, no one knows. It can, like I say, the floor, the support is always at zero. So I can tell you it will never go below
There
zero.
is no support, no resistance,
there is
no
no way
nothing.
it goes below zero.
All those charts and technical analysis, they're useless, right?
Exactly. But yeah, it's at the end of the day, it's what you like, what you believe in, and we see some progress there. It just needs some people to take it and to utilize this and push it forward, basically.
Great, thank you.
I'd like to just, I mean, obviously, Leo's point is very valid. I'd like to add to that the fact that Bitcoin and cryptos are now seen as a safe haven of compared to gold.
True.
So what we need to watch, any investor out there who's trading, they need to be having a close eye on the stock markets. the US stock markets and the European stock markets. Recently, we've been seeing a lot of negativity from those stock markets. So and it's a big if we see some lower lows and lower highs on the stock markets, then potentially we'll see we will see a continuation of the rally that we've seen on gold recently. Mm-hmm. In my personal opinion, I'm seeing a short-term rally in gold towards 1590 or 1590 range. I think that's the next key resistance level on gold. And in my opinion, I think we'll see some funds move into Bitcoin if gold rallies and if the stock market moves a little bit down, a little bit lower.
You think we'll have a recession soon?
There's lots of valid, indicators for that. We've had a tough few months, and earnings.
The markets are suffering.
And this week we've had some good, positive earnings, and the stock market didn't even rally.
Great.
Which is a very big worrying sign.
Actually, to add on this point, it's human nature looks for patterns. Yeah, so you only learn through patterns, through following patterns, and that's how everything evolves. Like people tend to spot the pattern and enhance on top of it. Now, in terms of your question for recession, indicators are there, and you can spot repeating patterns from the Great Depression to 2008 recession. You can see a lot of patterns re-emerging, and it's just a matter of them being validated. And at the end of the day, like we say, the straw is what broke the camel's back. So there might be one event that just collapses everything, and there might be another event that pulls everything together. But yeah, fundamentally speaking, things are not the best at this time, but we stay...
It's a big opportunity.
Yeah, it's an opportunity for a trader for sure, because they can short the market as well.
So
for us traders, we can...
we love these events.
Yeah.
Great, so short the market.
Well, not the financial...
Disclaimer again. Great, thank you guys so much for all your opinions and thoughts. And we hope the audience got something valuable out of our panel discussion, and we'll take it from there. Any question that you might have, please feel free to comment. We'll review all the comments, and feel free to reach us out, www.darico.io, and we'll try to help you out in case you have any questions or requests.
And thank you for Grip Investment for this opportunity.
Thank you very much. Thank you.